Hello, good afternoon everyone, and Assalamu alaikum to all of you. Today we are here to talk about the new recent updates on the scoring system by the Pearson Academy. So before we start, let's first introduce ourselves. PEC-Education is one of the pioneers of PTE in Bangladesh, and we started our operations in 2016, and we have been working so far in getting students get the required scores in PTE for all these years. So we recently have good news about starting a center in Uttara. We already are settled in Mirpur, and we had a center in Uttara, but it was closed down due to COVID, and from December we have started operations back there again. And from last week we started our courses, that is long course and short course in PTE. So anyone who is interested, they can always just contact us. So my name is Fabliha Bushra Khan Rupunti, and I'm a PTE trainer at PEC-Education. So I am a 90 scorer, and now I want to spread how you can achieve your dream scores and from Bangladesh, and how you can go abroad if that's your dream. So now let's get to the meat of today's live session, and that is the recent update on the PTE scoring system. So the first question that you all have, now this update has created a lot of questions in your minds, I'm sure. Lots of people are making videos about it, lots of people are worried. So I hope that in this session I can answer all of your questions and make things clear for everyone on why this update was done and what it means for you, and some more extras. So stay tuned, guys. So now before we start, what exactly has changed? That must be the first question in your guys' mind. So basically, if I want to just say it in simple words, nothing much has changed. If you're preparing for PTE right now, the marking system, the scoring, that is, it is still out of 90, and the question types, the format of the exam, all that is still the same. So nothing has changed. What this is, the update that was given, is basically a part of Pearson's research to align the performances of IELTS test takers and PTE test takers for their own knowledge. So it's not something that you have to worry about as a test taker in your preparations. And why is this important? That is, we know that English standardized tests are used all over the world, and the same two tests are basically used for the same purpose. That is, if you want to get into a university, or if you want to go abroad, then for immigration purposes you need an IELTS or a PTE score, an English standardized score. So it is useful to see how both the tests scale together for the organizations that is giving out the tests. So this thing, these researches are actually very common and nothing out of ordinary. Now, if I want to talk about it, such a research that is aligning the PTE and IELTS scores was done back in 2011 by Pearson, and now they're doing it again. They're updating it for now in 2020. So this was long overdue, and it is something that is done by other organizations as well, but they don't really publish it. But it was published by Pearson today. So let's talk a little more about what was done in the research. Okay, so for research, they collected the test scores of a sample size of about 560 test takers, and they collected these test scores in two phases. That is, one was by volunteers who gave out their test scores to us. They reported self-reported test scores, and the other phase was by taking in a sample survey, that is, of selected candidates, and it was done in a more controlled environment, which is they were all given the same IELTS and PTE courses, and they controlled when they would take the test, which one they would take first, etc., etc. So all this was done in a very controlled manner, and the selected candidates were from many different countries of the world, around 59 countries worldwide they took the test takers from. Plus they also the test takers were from various ages. So overall, it was a very good sample size to get to know about the normal performances. And after they collected the test scores, they gave us this update, that is by comparing the two tests, the results of both the tests by each candidate. So finally, the table that you saw, the updated table, is basically a result of this research. Now, how much attention you put into it, that's all up to you and up to the organizations that will see this new updated research results. So before we go further, I would like to first give you a structure of what exactly changed and what the updated scores are. Okay, so as I said before, this update was basically linkage of the equivalency test of between your IELTS band and the equivalent PTE scores. So we had an idea on what the equivalent scores was before. Now that is what has been updated. So for example, before, for a band 5 in IELTS was 36. You needed a 36 score in PTE to be an equivalent of 5 IELTS band. Now that equivalent score has reduced to 29. Then you have 5.5, which before it was 42 and now it's a 36. So you just have to get a 36 and your score will be equivalent to a 5.5 in IELTS. Then 6 and 6.5 band scores are, I'm sure you guys all know that these scores are very important for people who want to go abroad or for immigration. These scores are what's necessary for all governments. So this has seen quite a little bit of change. So before, for 6 it was a 50, so you had to get a 50 to get a 6 band in IELTS, and that has changed to 46, whereas before, for 6.5 you needed a 58 PTE score. Now according to the new research, a 56 score in PTE is equivalent to a 6.5 grade. Now all this is good news if people actually followed this, but from the 7 to up band, this has kind of changed to, before the PTE scores now has decreased, that is you need a lower PTE scores to get an equivalent band, but for 7, while before it was a 65, you needed a 65 score, now it has increased by 1. For 7.5, before you needed a 73 in PTE, now that's a 76. And 8, before you needed a 79. Now it has changed to you need an 84 score to be called as an 8 band in IELTS. Similarly for 8.5, now it's an 89 score. Now if you do see the new updated table, there is no equivalency for the band 9 in IELTS. That is because very few people actually get a band 9 in IELTS, less than 1%. So it's not really relevant to the test that is taken, and not many people needs to consider that band. So this is the newly tabulated form. You can see that in our we have a post about this new updated score if you are interested. Now we come to what the question is on everybody's mind. So what does this mean for you guys? Now as I said, this is only update. This update is based on a research that's done by Pearson itself. So it is not something that governments or institutions have done by themselves. It's by PTE. Now how this affects you will depend on how the government and the institutions, they plan to interpret these results. So for now actually nothing has changed. It's all the same, because who accepts your PTE scores is not Pearson but the institutions and the governments. So if there is to be a change, that change will be after 5 to 6 months. Well, these people, that is the institutions and the governments, they will have to interpret the results, sit and decide what they will do with this updated scores. They might also not change anything, that is also a distinct possibility. They might just keep the results the same. They have their own requirements and they will keep those requirements regardless of this update. So it all depends on how the institutions plan to take these updates and whether they want to integrate this new information into their requirements. Okay, so for now, anyone who plans to take the test within the next 1 to 2 months and apply need not even think on this update. So the government, the Australian immigration, it's still the same. If you go to their website, they will still tell you you need to get a 79 to get an 8 score in IELTS. That has still remained the same, and any at all changes will be announced by especially governments before anything takes effect. So you guys don't need to worry on if there is a change. The educational institutes or the government will update it. It's all according to them. Now you can use the score if you want to. That is, since the scores are taken by education institutes, for example, if you don't meet their requirement, this update can help you appeal to them and say that yes, my score is equivalent, so if you want you can consider it, and they may consider it based on this update. Now that is all a could, may, if all these things do take into account. So the final decision is up to the educational institute. So it's not that you will be guaranteed anything based on these scores. It's all up to how your educational institute or government plans to interpret these results. So at the end of the day, if anyone has seen this update or anyone wants to use this update for their and change the requirements, you have to go and check with the organization before you apply to them or before you think that this update actually changes anything for you. And anything that will happen will at least take 5 to 6 months. So anyone who plans to take exam after half a year, they might need to think how this update has changed the educational organization. But for now, your requirements do stay the same, and if you are interested in getting your required PTE score, it's all the same. So you guys do not need to worry about this update. It's mainly for the educational institutes and for Pearson itself to know how their tests are basically compared and the performance of the test takers are compared to IELTS, and it's for their own testing. So you guys don't need to worry about it. So that's basically it. So overall, I will say that your requirements are still the same. And if you are in doubt, or if you want to maybe ask your educational institution if they will consider it, then you can always just contact them. But this results and update does not in any way officially affect anything. So officially, it's all still the same. So with that, I'd like to come to, if anyone who is interested in PTE, in immigration or study abroad, to give you a rundown of our courses that we give in the PEC organization. Now, PEC, we not only give PTE courses, we also help with the study abroad facilities to countries like US, UK, Canada, Australia and other countries in Europe. And that is something we do besides for our students who come to us for PTE. And the features of our courses include, we have 2 types of courses. You can take a long course and a short course. The long course can be 2 to 2.5 months, 2 to 3 times a week in 2-hour sessions. And the short course is 3-hour sessions for 5 days, including, and with that we include 3 mock tests for the short course and 5 mock tests for the long course. Now you can also come to us if you just want to take mock tests. We have additional offers just for mock tests. The specialty of our mock tests is that we give personalized feedbacks, that is, us trainers see your results, interpret your results, see your weaknesses, and we will give you that feedbacks on where you have to concentrate to get better results next time. So that is something we do. Also, in our short course, we give out 20 lectures for you, lecture sheets. Additionally, we have additional materials included with the course fee, that is a course book, a CD, and additional vocabulary, collocations, grammar and templates, etc. All these things we give it out to you, that is additional materials. So if you are interested in the courses in Mirpur or Uttara, whichever site is comfortable for you, you can always join us, and we hope and we try to keep you guys updated on whatever PTE has newly started and what it means for you guys in Bangladesh, and to help you guys know what to do for your future. So I hope you liked today's live session, and with that I'll say goodbye for now and hope to see you guys next time again. Thank you so much.